Hey guys, Hayden here again from Alarm System Store, and today we're going to be enrolling some wireless keypads to the IQ Remote. I have the two most popular options here, which is going to be the IQ Remote PowerG, and then the HS2LCDWF9, which is a DSC Neo wireless keypad. It's just a button-style keypad. Anyway, the option you'll probably want to go with is the IQ Remote. It's just a little bit more expensive, and you get the touchscreen and you get some nice features like voice prompts and things like that. So this is probably what you'll see used with the IQ Pro the most. However, either of these will work fine. Basically, just as with the wired keypads, if you watch that video, all keypads for the IQ Pro are mainly just for arming and disarming the system and allowing you to see what zones on your system are open. None of the keypads, period, can be used to program or do anything fancy like that. However, each keypad does have a few settings you can change that are specific to the keypad itself, so on and so forth. Anyway, I already have the app pulled up here because we don't have to do anything with the physical system. All we have to do is turn it on, pair it, and it's ready to enroll wireless keypads. So, enter your installer or dealer code so that you can get to the dashboard like I have here. And then all you need to do is navigate to the security sensors section of the app. So if you're doing the installer wizard, you'll have a security section there where you can enroll PowerG and wired devices, so on and so forth. You can enroll these there at the same time. However, as you'll see, the IQ Remote does have a Wi-Fi pair option. I'll show you how to do that after. However, I do recommend using these with the PowerG connection because that is going to be a much stronger connection. And if your Wi-Fi ever goes out and you only have it paired with Wi-Fi, when your internet goes out, so will the keypad. So what we're going to do over here is just go to the config, installation, devices, security sensors, and then under the security sensor section, you'll have a plus. So click the plus, click auto learn, and then click start auto learn. Just like we did for the wired keypads, however, we do have to interact with these keypads to basically force them to enroll. So we're going to do the IQ Remote first. All you do, click PowerG pair. And almost immediately it showed up on the app. So all we have to do is click add. And now it is going to add the IQ Remote to our list of devices. And then you do have to configure it just slightly. You don't have to change anything specific, but you have to open it up and at least save it so that it shows configured, and that will save it to your panel. Once you get to the configuration screen though, you don't have to change anything here. You can just you can change the keypad name if you want to, but everything else is going to stay the same. Unless you don't want voice prompts for some reason, you can toggle those off. You'll probably want to be able to bypass with the keypad, so leave that on as well. Chime type doesn't matter on these because they have the voice prompts. Just click save so that the keypad shows configured there and you're good to go. And now that we have it enrolled, you can see the IQ Remote has a totally different screen. This is your standard arming screen. So we'll go over that in just a minute once I get this other keypad enrolled. But to do that with the HS2, all you're going to do is press a button, bring up the screen. It'll tell you what to press. Press 1 and star. So hold those buttons down for a second. It's going to beep, and then on the keypad or on the app, you'll see that it almost immediately popped up with that. So it actually looks like a button-style keypad. It says wire-free LCD. Click add. Same thing applies. You add it, and then you have to configure the keypad. So once it shows up, click the arrow there, and then just as before, you can change the name. You can set it to fixed or mobile intrusion, voice prompts. These don't have voice prompts, so you don't have to worry about that. You can decide whether the backlight is on, whether the tamper is on. If there are any temperature sensors on your system, you can set those so that they show up on the keypad here. However, we don't have any of that stuff, so I'm just going to leave it all default. So click save, and once it shows configured, then you are good to go. So now we can stop the PowerG auto learn, and it's going to have these two keypads enrolled on our system. All right, so real quick before I go into showing how the keypads work, if you did want to pair the IQ Remote using Wi-Fi as well, you can have both connections active. However, I can't show that fully because I don't have the IQ panel or the IQ Remote connected to our Wi-Fi network here. Basically though, what you would do is you have to connect the panel to your Wi-Fi, which is done in the configuration section. under installation, devices, and then Wi-Fi. So you can change the access point options for the panel. So enroll that into your local Wi-Fi, and then once the actual panel is connected, then you click on IQ Remotes here, and then you would enroll that keypad using the same Wi-Fi network. Basically, it follows the same procedure. It's got a little plus there. It turns on the Wi-Fi add mode for the keypad, and then you can go through and plug in whatever you need to, your password, so on and so forth. I'm not going to show that any more in depth just because it would take forever to connect all this to Wi-Fi. But generally, like I said, if you're using an IQ Remote PowerG, you're always going to want to have that PowerG connection active because that is a direct connection to the wireless receiver of this panel. If you're using Wi-Fi, there is a chance that if your internet goes out or if you have low speeds, the Wi-Fi won't be able to allow the IQ Remote to connect to the panel. So it's a decent backup connection, and it's good for like updating the keypad whenever it does need that. So I recommend having both connected, but if you can only have one connected, use the PowerG option. So we're done with the app now. Now that the keypads are enrolled, we don't have to do anything else there. I'll show you a little bit about the IQ Remote and then the LCD keypad, like what you can do on them. As you'll see, the IQ Remote looks nothing like the other keypads that we've shown so far. This basically is the standard arming screen for an IQ panel. So this big box here, if you click that,
arm system type.
It asks you how you want to arm the system. So that is how you would arm and disarm. You can select whether you want to arm stay or arm away. However, if it is already armed and you're coming in, what you do is you click, this would be either yellow or red for stay or away, but you click the yellow or red,
select arm system type,
wait for it to ask you, and then you would plug in your code, which would just be your master code or a user code. So it's pretty straightforward. Over here on the right side of the screen, you'll have an active and an all tab. If you click all, it basically shows all of the connected devices to your system. So currently we only have the system itself, these two keypads enrolled. So that's what it's showing. However, if you have sensors connected to your system, it will show all of the sensors in the order that you enrolled them. And if you click the active tab here, it will show you which ones are open. So if you're trying to arm and it won't for some reason, check the active tab. You probably have, a window or something open, and it wants you to close that or bypass it before you can arm the system. Up here in the top right is a little envelope. You can click on that, and it's going to bring up your event tab. So there's a lot going on here because this is basically just a test system. But essentially, any event you have, it will log here if it's an alert, a trouble, or an alarm. So you won't see every single thing, like you won't see your doors opening and closing, so on and so forth. But as you can see here, we have a zone expander failure. That was from when I was enrolling those zone expanders, and basically I disconnected them, and when I repowered up the system, it was like, hey, where are those things at? Anyway, that's what that section is for. There are some other features you can change on here as well. If you pull down the menu there from the top, you can change the volume, you can change the brightness. There's a photo frame option, so you can basically set what the set a picture that the IQ Remote's going to show whenever the keypad is in standby. There's a clean screen option, which gives you, I think it's 30 seconds, where you can wipe down the keypad and it won't register any presses. There's a settings button here. If you click that, it does bring up a few options.
Enter user code.
It's going to want your master code or your installer code. So plug that in, and it's going to bring up these menu options. So here's where you can connect to your Wi-Fi if you want to do updates on your keypad. The display option lets you change the brightness, the font size of the text on the screen, and you can change 24 or 12-hour clock format. Under the IQ Remote PG upgrade, if you have it connected to Wi-Fi, you can click that and it will check for any updates available from Qolsys. The PowerG remote settings, if you click on that, allows you to change power management. So basically, if you have power management on, it will save some power. I believe it shuts the screen down a little bit sooner than normal. Generally, the brightness is automatically turned down and limited, so on and so forth. Basically, just like your phone's battery saver settings. And the last option is PowerG system logs. Basically, it uploads the system logs to a server. You're not going to see that, so I wouldn't even click that option if I were you. If you have an installer and they want to do that, they're more than welcome to. But as an end user, that will have no bearing on anything you really do with the system. So, as for the IQ Remote, that is all there is to it. It's pretty straightforward. Like I said, it's mainly used for arming and disarming. Additional screens will pop up here if you have like Z-Wave devices enrolled or things like that. So if you did have a like Z-Wave door lock on your front door or something, you can enroll that to the panel, and then it will pop up with a new screen that is specifically for Z-Wave devices, and it'll allow you to like turn on and off lights, unlock and lock your door locks, so on and so forth. By default, though, this is what you'll see with a standard security setup. So if you just have, sensors attached to the panel, so on and so forth. Now for the HS2 keypad, this one's even a little bit more limited, but essentially it follows the same rules as the wired keypads that I was showing. So up here it'll show system is ready to arm. If you have any open zones, you can scroll through them, so on and so forth. Otherwise though, it uses the standard arming just like the wired ones do. So if you type in your code, it's going to begin arming the system, and then whenever you're ready to disarm, you just type in your code again. You have your function keys over here, and then over here are your panic buttons. If you hold both of those, it'll do a fire panic, for example. That would be a medical panic, and then this is a police panic. So now you can check troubles on these keypads. If you hit *2, it'll bring up the trouble menu. It'll show you your troubles. You can scroll through. There's a few troubles here just because I don't have this panel fully set up. Like I don't have a battery connected, things like that. But if you want to, you can check troubles with these HS2 keypads. But that is pretty much it. There is one other IQ keypad that I will be showing here shortly. It is basically a touchpad, so it's button style like this, except it doesn't have a display. It's a very cheap option, and it's really only good for arming and disarming, and you can see basically the status of your keypad. It's a bit newer, which is why I don't have it here to show you guys, but I'll show it at some point, and you guys can decide if you want to go with one of those for like your secondary keypad locations. But that is the basics of enrolling wireless keypads to your system. It's actually the basics for enrolling wireless devices, period, because when we come back for our next video, I'm going to enroll some wireless sensors, and it follows that exact same procedure, except there's a little bit more work to do with the actual sensors, because you have to set those the way that you want them to act, so on and so forth. But that is all there is to enrolling wireless keypads on the IQ Pro panel. Pretty straightforward. If you guys are interested in the panel, the keypads, or anything related to the IQ Pro, we do carry it at alarmsystemstore.com. You can check out our website, check out what we have on offer. If you guys have any questions or comments, by all means, leave them down below or reach out to us on our website. Otherwise, if you guys don't mind, leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one.